Hi everyone, how you doing? I'm saying that, hi everyone, how you doing? Because, oh God, I feel flat as a pancake. I have to be honest, but I'm hoping by the end of this, I will feel much better. Sorry for looking so bedraggled straight away. I mean, I don't mind this kind of beachy, crazy look on a beach, but I'm just trying to air dry my hair. I've just had it coloured, as you can see, so it looks a lot fresher, but just so that it doesn't kind of break off. Like it does tend to do, because I love the bleach way too much. I'm just air drying it, and hopefully by the time we've finished it will be completely dry, and I'm going to use a new tool that my friend has designed, because it's so easy on my hair. As I thought I'd share with you that at the end. Okay, I'm going to show you some newness. Lots of new things to get through. I haven't really got a clue what I'm going to do or the look, but I've got all my skincare on, I've got my SPF on. But I also wanted to show you this product that's called, let me just get the name right, Inviti, that's right, Inviti. Now, there's all sorts of different combinations of products within this range, but this is the Youth Activating Instant Filler, and it's been really wonderful on my forehead. So I'm going to, my face is in a bit of a mess. Well, let me just start with this, and then I'll go into the face of my messy face in a minute. So it comes in this little syringe, which you just blob out, probably that much, and just place it in the areas that you just want to smooth slightly, and let it settle in before your makeup. And it does give a little bit of tightness to the area. He's a real scientist, the developer and founder of Inviti, and they do some really wonderful hydrating face masks as well. The face masks and this instant serum is by far my favourite products within the range. The moisturiser was lovely, but it didn't give me that quench that I needed. But I have dry skin, so that doesn't mean that that's going to be the same for everyone. Anyway, I found this really lovely pre-makeup. Don't do it all the time, but if I'm feeling a bit sort of liney, I sort of tend to fill it in. Now, just to explain, I have decided to have a little bit of filler either side of my temples here, just because years ago when I had lots of acne, this skin is quite irregular. You probably wouldn't notice on this camera. And as it was kind of like sinking into my skull here as I'm getting older, I didn't like it. Anyway, so my lovely friend Sophie Shotter put a little bit of filler, teeny bit of filler just inside here. I had it done years ago, literally probably about 5 years ago, and never thought of it again, but then it obviously has worn off. So then I had that, and then I walked into the side of the door. Literally, you know, when the corner of the door slams in and I've got a big bruise there. So I'm going to fix it with you guys. Just thought that you might actually appreciate having to fix your face. I don't really know what's going on with my skin at the moment. But anyway, we all go through funny phases. But yes, for complete transparency, I had a little aesthetic treatment. Right, I know that lots of you have already tried this before me. This is the Lisa Eldridge Enhancing Tint Seamless Skin. Get that right. And I think I mentioned on my Instagram that I went into Space NK with my friend Zoski, who is my friend who's an expert. She loves beauty. And she's like, let's go and try it. And we went into Space NK, and the queue around Lisa's counter was like 3 deep. So I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. I did look at the colours and think, what colour would I be? And Lisa's team has sent me T6. And T6 is definitely my colour, but not when I'm wearing fake tan. So I'm going to put it on, shake it, because it's got lots and lots of skincare. It's probably an oil and water formula as well, so it needs to be combined, hence why you can feel that little nodule that mixes everything together inside. It's super, super lightweight. A complete contrast to her foundation, where it's a beautiful glass bottle. This is got a real kind of touchy-feely feel about it. Oh, I'm really good with the words this morning. And I quite like it. Yeah, really, really like it. So I would say if you're of skin similar colour to me, this sort of shade would be probably about T78. So it's going to be a little bit cooler, but it is, as you would expect, absolutely beautiful. So it's got a nice consistency. Let's block my face out there. not too runny. Now let me just show you. Let's do a nice little, really nice, not too pink. I'm going to place it just with my finger so you can really see the effect of the product and how much coverage it gives and how much glow. And it, not weirdly, it actually had quite a decent amount of long wear to it, meaning that my skin, I felt, still looked super fresh and even in tone, sort of about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I looked at my face. And sometimes if you're using a skin tint, it really does just disappear. But look at that. Really, really seamless. That's it. She's created a seamless foundation. Now, a makeup artist, I mean, I really don't even want to use a single bristle or brush on this or sponge because it's settled into my skin beautifully. I mean, I'm obviously being really fussy about the colour as well, but you can see it's just like a tweak, just a little bit too chilly for me. But in the winter, it'd be perfect. So let's just do this on my forehead. It feels really nice. It doesn't feel too greasy. Like the Westman Atelier one is also very beautiful, but it's a little bit oily. So it looks a bit greasy. Again, great if you've got dry skin, which I do, but even I need to powder that down. So I'm just placing this around my eye, just neutralising my lid, just using my finger. I would always say use your fingers when you're using a tint, because you just end up losing so much product and you don't get the true efficacy of the product when you use the brush. Use that for a much, a more of a sort of medium coverage. How lovely. Okay, so let's finish off doing that and we will talk about everything else that we are doing. So it's really, really lovely to pop this on really nice and quickly. I was doing that sort of quite slowly. Oh look, get it in my hair as well. Got lots and lots of joyful pigmentation coming through. Now I've had a little bit of sun. I mean, literally the sun came out behind the cloud and then disappeared behind the clouds so quickly. We're all craving just a little bit of sun, to all my friends in Australia and America. I envy you. I'm like a little plant and I'm stuck in the shade and I'm wilting. That's basically what it is. So look, I have to say, that's actually, do you know what? That is a better coverage on that skin irregularity than I thought. I thought I'd be going in with my double wear, but maybe I won't. I have to say that is far more effective in terms of coverage than I thought. Wow. Okay. Really nice. Really, 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 really nice. Thank you for all the lovely comments on the box. I'm so pleased to introduce you to Delilah, to Emmeline, to different brands that you may have not come across. I love the fact that you love the Eucerin vitamin C, where you activate together yourself, where you activate the product before you use it. So lovely. So thank you very much for all of that. Right, I'm super happy. That is a 10 out of 10 product. Really, really beautiful. Congratulations, Lisa. I mean, I didn't expect anything less, quite frankly. I am going to leave the rest of my face. I'm going to put a teeny weeny little bit of the Estee Lauder Double Wear just on the tip of where I bash my head. Let me get a small brush, slightly tapered, so that I can just follow that through on my brow, just to even that out. And I've got some blobby thing there coming through and there. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I had acne for probably nearly 20 years on my skin. I've got the best skin of my life right now. But what that has done is made me very paranoid about how my skin looks. And I really like products that make my skin look as fresh as possible. Yes, as the collagen decreases, so I'm using the Lima laser to see whether that works, but I'm not going to talk about that until I've done my full 3 months. I'm seeing a slight improvement, but it's a lot of effort for a slight improvement, but I'm going to keep going. As my skin sort of collapses, the scarring and everything becomes more obvious, hence why I had a little bit of that filler either side of my temple. But minute little things that make us all just a little bit more confident. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to try something out now to see how this works, because I think this is a really soft formula. Giorgio Armani have brought out some beautiful, beautiful bronzers. Really lovely big pans. Now this is 90. Can you see that this is much warmer? I'm too pale for this because it will come up a little bit orangey ready on my skin, whereas this is nice and caramelly. So I'm going to opt for the shade 90. Really big pans. So you could use a big fat brush like this, or you could use a brush like this. Now the bigger the brush, the lighter the colour application. So let's go in with a bigger brush because I want this to be super light. Isn't this nice? What a beautiful design. This is hourglass with the snake coming out. So I'm going to twirl the brush. Twirl, 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 twirl. Really important to get an even coverage of product on your brush before you put it on your face. Now it's slightly reflective. Oh yes, and slightly soft. Now I've put a lot on, as you can see, and the payoff really didn't come up that much. So that's how delicate it is. And the reason I put it straight on the base is that I don't want to have that powdery finish, but I didn't know how it would take. I thought it might grab onto my skin that's slightly damp, but it hasn't because the brush is so big. Had I used a smaller brush, that might have been the case. Oh, so happy with that. I might put a little bit more concealer on my nose. We'll see how we go. Nice and delicate, just keeping it over those cheekbones just to, so actually now with a little bit over on my jawline, so it kind of, the colour connects with my neck, you wouldn't even notice that that was too light. So if you want to just get one shade, you can get one that's slightly lighter, right? Very, very nice. And I do like a big pan with a bronzer because I do like a bigger brush for that sort of softness. But look, what an improvement already. And that's just one skincare product and 2 makeup. Lovely. Good. Like I said, a little sip of coffee and a bit of makeup, and we're improving. I know lots of you watch me in the morning in bed, and I do love it because I check my phone on a Saturday just to make sure the film's gone up and it's all working, etc. And then you say messages like, I'm just putting a baking sarnie on, just getting back into bed and snuggling in. It is such, it's just an honour. It's something that I will look back in my life and just think, my goodness, that was such a special time. And it really irks me that we can't get together. I must talk to Zoe and try and organise some sort of live thing. I wonder whether you'd all be interested in doing something like that where we could have conversations, or just a little live demo. Oh, I've got to put my earrings in. Must put my earring in. Live something or other chat. We'll try and work it out. But if you'd like to join in, I know it's always hard to find a time where we can all do it, but it would be good because I'm very grateful. Thank you. And you're so blooming nice. Right, before we go on and talk about the Rare Beauty blushers, these are the new ones. I mean, oh, honestly, Selena Gomez has done such wonderful thing with this brand. 1% goes to, I think it's the charity's Mind. It's a mental health charity as well. And I just love everything she does. It is so beautiful. I chose the 2 blush colours that match with my Hope and Joy, the 2 favourite blushes. So there's like a pink and a peach, just like so classic. And these are the equivalent in the powder. So I thought we could have maybe a little play with those. But I've chosen the Gen C Rosewater 07 shade because this is very close to the Armani 23, which I believe, because I'm so sorry, I think it's an old one that's slightly out of stock. No, this is too pink. This is not like the Armani one. I'm going to replace that other one that I mentioned the other week. Find a replacement. I do think Gen C has a replacement, but this is not the one. But this is pretty nonetheless. So with a creamy, almost liquidy shadow like that, I would always place it like along the lash line, almost like a liner. and then spread it with a very soft brush, because unlike the stick cream formula, the liquidy cream spreads much quicker and you'll end up with too much product, and then you'll end up with creasing, and then you'll end up getting annoyed and frustrated, and that's the end of your day. I just always want makeup for you guys to be a pleasure to put on, a pleasure to have that experience of just sort of taking care of yourself and improving ourselves, but also just enjoying the experience of looking after ourselves, right? But this is lovely. This is a really lovely nudie pink, but a lovely pink that doesn't make you look tired. You know how some pinks can just kind of make your eyes look a little bit red. That's very, very soft and flattering. I know you wanted sort of more no makeup looks. That's a perfect shade, but doesn't it look different? Looks much browner in the pot, but I'm also quite happy with that. Okay, so another slab of coffee. Hopefully I won't slurp. And let's chuck on a lash and then move on to the blush, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with the Dior mascara. A nice fat barrel, but with short bristles. Lift up my lid, because these days my lid is collapsing into my lashes slightly. So it just saves me having to fix everything. And also it allows you to really get the mascara right into those roots to get the lift. And then obviously half an hour for your eyelid to settle down again. Oh dear. Oh, I've got lots of new lashes since I've been doing Lashify. Some other companies have got in contact which is slightly more affordable. So I might do or include some other little lashes as well, because I really loved my under lashes. And these are similarly as good. And for us makeup artists, it's hard because you have to keep, obviously you can't save them. You buy Lashify yourself, then you can obviously save them, so it becomes a bit of an investment. But if you're going through lots of lashes, and I've got any makeup artists who are watching me, it becomes quite costly. I think I did say, and you save the best for the best. So it always pays to be nice. Right, that's lovely. Good mascara this. Really nice separated lashes. But, oof, that coffee nearly went all over that bronzer. Must try harder not to be so messy. Right, okay, so shall we, let's say, okay, let's do Joy and Joy. Okay, we'll go with the peaches. This is the same colour. So let's show you Joy. Let's do a little bit now. These Rare Beauty blushes, with a great dupe being e.l.f., are punchy. Punchy, I mean, they have a lot of pigment. So go easy. Maybe we should, I'll do a comparison. Oh, see, now I've gone too timid. I'll do a comparison of the powder and then the blush, and then I'll do the blush over the cream, because the whole thing is you can layer two formulas over each other for longevity, which is really nice and something that a lot of us makeup artists do. Just put a little bit across the bridge of my nose just to tie that colour in. Be careful not to bring your blush too low. Keep it nice and high, just to add the fullness to your face. Always make sure, you know, that when you look in the mirror, check the other side of your face to make sure you've improved what you've already got, right? Sometimes we're in a rush, we sort of forget to look at what we're doing. Right, so that is that. That's Joy. Now let's use a small brush and we'll put on the powder, the new one. They're called, it's just called a powder blush. I thought it was called something else. Anyway. It's a much more reflective, much more shimmery. Really, really beautiful. But for me, way too sparkly, because it brings out all of my pore texture. So yes, that's a no for me personally, but on a smooth skin and for work, the effect of that is so beautiful. I mean, that's a very, I've hardly even blended that or applied it in a way that's slightly artistic. Just thrown it on basically, gone, oh no. Very beautiful. I mean, look, going round and round, very beautiful, but in my style, I prefer that because it looks too much like makeup on my cheeks. I don't mind that texture on my eyes. This is all personal, all personal. There are no rules, but for me, that is just a little bit too sheeny, but it's beautiful and I love it. Let's see how it works over the colour, over the cream blush. Oh, see, that actually weirdly is softer. Let's just smooth those edges out. Okay. Well, I've surprised myself. My favourite is Go Again. Let's just go again to pick up that. Somehow that colour underneath diminishes it very slightly. So on the bare skin, you really can kind of see that bit of pore texture and you get that lovely highlight. Whereas with the combined colours, oh, it's beautiful for a wedding. If you want me to show you all the colours, I can do that as a separate video if you like that. But how interesting. Okay, I'm going to be slightly odd, but you know I am anyway. And I'm going to move on. What should we do for lips? Now I did have a little chat about lips, a little thought for lips. And another blush, maybe I'll do this in next week's video, is this. The Violette Bisou blush. This is my happy cheek. I'll do a happy cheek next week. By the way, can you see the texture on my forehead? I think it really does soften it. Maybe it's just me. It feels lovely under makeup and it feels like it's sort of slightly tightening my face. Right, I'm loving this look. Now I did have a lipstick that I wanted to use for this. It was a lip. Oh, this is out now. Let's do this. This is Charlotte Tilbury. This colour is deep and it's the Big Lip Plump Gasm. Forgive me if I've talked about this before. I was given it by my friend who's a beauty editor and she said, do not post it, it's not out yet. And I've been freaking out that I'm gonna break some kind of like rules for posting it. Anyway, it's out now, let's get on with it. I really love the texture of this. And this works perfectly with this look. It feels so nice and it has a tingle that doesn't annoy me. Normally I get really irritated by Carmex, Blisties, all of that. Anything that's kind of lip plumping and zingy zangy, I just want to get off my lips. And actually it stops my lips from almost hydrating themselves. I feel that my lips get drier after using it, so I don't like it. This, however, is really satisfying, so I can sort of feel like I can be in the lip plumping club. Also works nice over a colour. I wouldn't do that on my lip because I've got too much movement in my lips. I was out the other day with Stan, my youngest, and he was like, Mum, you've got red lipstick all over your cheek. I just forgotten I have makeup on and I'd sort of smudged my face. There I am, trying to tell you all what to do and yeah, looking like I've got a load of red lipstick on. Do you know what? I have a red lipstick all over my face. Well, do you know what? I actually quite like my hair the way it is. I might do it next week. Do you know what? I might film the next look in a minute and then do my hair because actually, isn't it funny how you air dry your hair? Okay, let me just tell before, I'm not going to do my friend's thing. He can wait till next week. I quite like this look. How funny. But it is a little bit dry. There is this really beautiful hair oil. So I'm going to finish with this fabulous tip, right? Charlotte Mensa. This is the Manchetti hair oil. It smells absolutely beautiful. It is not, I've got a few oils actually, if you're interested in hair oils, to share with you, because I try them all the time. It smells absolutely beautiful, and it doesn't make your hair greasy. That's the thing, so I've got to be really careful. I just use it at the ends, even though I just said it doesn't make your hair greasy. It just feels super, super lovely. And I can build and build and build on it, but it doesn't weigh the hair out. Now, a friend of mine, which is such an obvious thing, she's a colleague at work, hairdresser, she said, I know you love your oils. Another oil, which I think I've got upstairs in my bedroom, Gisou, Gisou, if you come across that brand. Their hair oil is exceptional as well. She said, don't put too much oil. It's a bit like you talk about putting oils on skin. It does cause a bit of a blockage to the cuticle. So you need to make sure that you're hydrating it properly and using the oil as a top coat every now and then, because it just doesn't allow your hair to get that hydrated. You need to hydrate from the inside. So I've gone back to using my Philip Kingsley elasticizer and using that as a combination with the K18 and a bit of hair oil. And it's definitely, obviously if you've been watching me for a while, you've really got nothing better to do in your life, because it's growing again. As well as having really rubbish skin for 20 years. I also had very weak hair. My hair fell out when I got really stressed, and not that I had alopecia totalis, but it was close. I lost about 40% of my hair and felt very, very bare. My sister also had alopecia areata. So it's something, a weakness within our family, genetics, I guess. Anyway, I've gone off on a random chit chat, but you guys said you didn't mind. Oh, just run free, Caroline. Just keep on chit-chatting away. Well, I hope you finished your breakfast. I hope I've given you a little bit of ideas of what to go and have a look at. But I quite like this look. Just with my little soft top. Choose love. Always choose love. All right, guys. Love you loads. See you next week.